I'm gonna make
All right, and welcome to this special episode of Real Estate Fight Club. This is a series called What Would You Do, where we explore ethics committee and professional standards committee violations. And here with me today is Jim Camarata. Hey, Jim.
good morning, Jennifer. How are you doing?
Good. What do you got for us today?
I have kind of an unusual case study
Okay.
regarding Article 14. So here's the scenario. Um, an agent was found in violation of some codes of the articles and or articles of the code,
Hmm.
and on specific questions that the panel members were asking him, he kept on saying, "No, I'm not going to answer."
He
Um,
pleaded the fifth.
pardon me.
He pleaded the fifth.
Well, I'm going to deal with that in just a second. He said answering them could conceivably do him harm, and in an injustice. Phew, I need more coffee. It's early. And that he felt he should not be required to answer questions in a situation that were unfair to him.
Okay.
So further attempts met with the similar responses. The chairperson reminded this agent that he was not before a court of law, but a committee of the board, and his membership was based wholly on his willingness to abide by its rules. And we all have those rules in the association.
Yeah.
And this is the part that cracks me up. It did not provide for a Fifth Amendment refuge from proper questions by
Okay.
the members of the hearing panel. And the chairperson,
If you're
yeah,
if you're appearing before the panel. Got
yeah, yeah. So, he specifically directed the agent to respond to the hearing's questions, and the agent still refused.
Wow.
So, not a good thing.
What
So,
does 14 say? Okay.
14 says, if charged with unethical practice or asked to present evidence or to cooperate in any other way in a professional standards proceeding or investigation, realtors shall place all pertinent facts before the proper tribunals of the member board or affiliated institute, society, or council in which membership is held, and shall take no action to disrupt or obstruct such processes.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Oh. Chairperson was pretty savvy and advised the agent that in light of his refusal to answer these various and specific questions, that he was going to amend the charges and include Article 14.
Okay.
And again, being the sensitive chairperson that he or she was, he said he was asked, would you like a continuance so you could prepare?
Right.
And the other choice was, do you wish to have a new committee hear the complaint, or do you want the same panel members? Well, the agent said, yeah, I do want some extra time to prepare, and yes, I'm okay with the same panel members.
Okay.
So the chairperson advised the agent that he was required to attend the new hearing date and to respond to questions put to him by the hearing panel. Fair. And I think this, when we talk about due process and the procedural process that we all have to follow, this chairperson was
It
either
seems like
getting,
they knew the rules. It is interesting though that you can't plead the fifth as part of the rules.
yeah, we don't play by the same rules in a court of law, because
Right.
we're not
It's
in a
not
court of law. It's our own set of rules.
right.
So it gets interesting naturally.
Yeah.
And one day prior to the new hearing date, the agent called the association and said, I'm not going to be attending the hearing because he objected to the nature of the hearing panel's questions and the facts that he was required to respond.
I wouldn't
So
that gets him out of the charge. You can't just say, well, I don't agree, and then
exactly. If you're a member of the association, you agree to play by the rules. Otherwise, you're out of the association and you're not in membership. So the following day, the hearing was held without him, and the complainant was permitted to present the case, and the hearing concluded, and the panel members went into executive session.
okay.
So this is where I learned something new. In executive session, the hearing panel discussed his behavior with respect to the alleged violation of Article 14.
Mhm.
The panel members discussed that respondents in ethics cases are not required to attend hearings,
Oh,
defend themselves, and answer questions absent a specific and direct request to do so in order to remain compliant with Article 14. The panel, in this instance, he had received specific and direct request from this panel to attend the new hearing date and answer questions, and he refused. And his failure to do so, they found him in violation of Article 14.
okay. So if he would have requested, well, wait, let's take a quick break. Let me tell you about a couple of our
Oh,
partners.
sure. Yeah.
Some questions. Okay, so the two partners that I wanted to tell you about today is one, Coach John Kitchens. Everybody needs a coach, so that if you're not where you want to be in your goals, having a coach will get you where you're going faster. So head over to coachcode.com. He's got some cool, exciting things and trainings come down the pike there. And then the next one is cyberbackers.com, which they are virtual assistants. So all the crap that you're spending time doing, it's like all that little stuff that it takes 2 minutes here and there, but it adds up to hours. They can take care of that. It's very affordable. So go to cyberbackers.com and input Fight Club so that you can get a call on that. Okay, so back to the case. And if people are looking for the case, they can go to jennifermertlin.com/vault. And there's a what would you do folder in there. They can find the case. Okay, so I wonder, okay, so Article 14, when you read it, it doesn't say that you have to attend. But it does say that you have to honor the specific requests of the panel. But how can the panel say you have to attend if you don't?
He was given a
That seems
specific,
like a violation.
yeah, it seems like it's in conflict.
Yeah, either I have to
But
attend or I don't. That's the rule.
yeah, well, in this case, the panel directed him to attend and directed him to respond.
So what if,
That's the difference.
yeah, but like,
And
what if he would have said, okay, I request a new panel, and they wouldn't have had the time to direct him to attend, so then he wouldn't have been required to attend.
well, part of Article 14 said that the agent will not take action to disrupt or obstruct such a hearing process. So he is, in a sense, the way I'm interpreting it, is that he obstructed
By not answering
the
the
process of the,
I agree with you. I think in the first, I think that is, it seems like he violated 14 based on the original, but when there was a
yeah,
new panel, is, I guess we would say, is not attending an obstruction of the process. But if you're not required to attend, then I don't believe it is.
yeah, he was instructed before in the first session that he will attend and that he will answer the questions.
Are they
That was
allowed to
correct.
instruct him if they're no longer the panel?
No, it was the same panel.
Yeah, but what if he had asked for a new one? Because you said that was one of the options.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
not
Like,
sure. Yeah.
very convoluted. It seems like you'll do what we say type, and it's like,
Well, that's why there are no case study precedents for these hearings. Like court law, case law, you always know what the decision was and why. And they use those precedents.
like
We
Why
don't have
do you
those.
think it's better not to have that?
Well, each case is decided on its own merit and circumstances. And so, we can agree, we can disagree, but this is how the panel of our peers decided on this particular case.
Hmm.
And it will vary. You could potentially get a whole different group of panel members, and
Yeah.
they could put, hearing the same data, come to a different conclusion.
No, right. I mean that's the same in like a court of law, I imagine too. And it's interesting that so he got a charge added to him, which I didn't think they were allowed to amend it once
Yeah, you can.
you can. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't know. It just seems like so if he doesn't attend, if you don't attend the hearing, because if you're not required to, maybe you don't attend the first one, then they're just going to hear the one side of what happened and rule on that. So like your
exactly.
chances of getting fined or whatever is I would think higher because you can't defend yourself. But if you feel like whatever you say is going to show your guilt, then you're better off just not attending, taking the fine, and moving on.
Yeah, and in our board, we have a whole system that if you choose not to have a hearing, we've got a menu of charges and the fines associated with
Are
those.
the fines usually the same, higher, or lower if you attend versus not attend? You
Just
don't know.
varies. It just varies.
Okay.
And we've had this discussion before. And so if you choose not to, then it's an automatic fine, and you
Yeah,
pay it, or you
feel like
attend.
if you
You
feel like
attend
you're
or whatever.
guilty or you feel like, well, it would take more time and money for me to attend than just accept the highest fine possible. Because that could be the case, right? Like if the highest fine possible is 2,500, your commission is 10,000, and you're like, what a waste of time! It's going to take all day. I could just go make another $10,000 commission. You just take your fine and move on. Especially because if you get in trouble again, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So here's kind of the rule of thumb that I live by, and we have 130 associates in our office, and I just keep saying, if something doesn't feel right, smell right, sound right, give me a call. Let's talk
Probably
about it
not. Yeah.
before it becomes an issue, because going downtown and sitting before a panel of your peers is not fun. It's negative energy. It's a time suck, and let's not do that. So let's just make
I
sure
think
we do it
I
the
think there's
correct way.
another conversation of are we peers or not, but that's a different podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Or before the Department of Commerce.
right, exactly. Well, Jim, I appreciate you being on. Always interesting. Always learn something. If people have a referral for you in Minnesota or they have a question, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Jimcamarata at kw.com or 612-562-7461.
Perfect. Thank
Love
you.
referrals. All right. You take care.